Listen, my money is like ice in a coconut drink. It'll eventually come back to this legal party. We're in this life or death thing together, and your paycheck is like my pocket money. I won't tell you what to do, you do your thing, and I'll do mine. Let's all hit the reset button on life. You can only understand this inside your head, go on. But after he left, I found his secret agent fingerprints on the table. I lifted the prints, even though the patterns looked like an old lighter. But I still planned to send it for testing. Then, Little Feng seemed to sniff something out and started wiping the table when I left. Unfortunately, he was late. I caught him in that panicked look, like he'd just stolen cake from the fridge. This confirmed he had secrets. Daily, I saw the designer pick up Little Feng in a BMW, like who's the undercover. I had a hunch something was fishy, so I decided to tail them and ended up at a fancy clubhouse. I witnessed their intimate antics firsthand. It was more eye-searing than watching a soap opera. It wasn't disgusting. It was a complex feeling, like watching my hopes crash and burn. If Little Feng really is gay, then he's a double agent. There's no way he could be the serial killer from back in the... Maybe all those doubts were just misunderstandings. Perhaps he was just extinguishing a cigarette out of habit. I called him to my office and asked him directly, when did you start liking this kind of stuff? Little Feng's answer made me ponder, if they are really gay, what's the truth behind the case? Suddenly, I felt like a fool, using a 7-year-old cold case as a knife, slicing into innocent people. I told my sister about this discovery, hoping she'd steer clear of Yang Zidao, but she didn't believe me. Because Yang Zidao had acted brave, taking a knife for her, she already fell for him, oh boy. She decided to verify it herself and discovered that Yang Zidao had normal physiological reactions. She didn't understand why Yang Zidao was hesitant to love, and under her relentless questioning, he revealed his tattoo. Making Xiao Zhan go back and ask me, he inadvertently uncovered another corner of the truth. He found clues from the files, but he chose to keep it under wraps, though I still caught on to the traces he left behind. Now that's getting entertaining. I followed Xiao Zhan and found little Xiao Feng in Yang Zidao's rental. I discovered the landlord had installed a bug. Listening to the previous conversation felt like watching a real-life spy movie. Every word was a sledgehammer, pounding down relentlessly on my already battered and fragile suspicions, leaving me with nowhere to hide. Case from 7 years ago, the massacre mystery at the villa, the truth finally pieced together. I finally got the answers to my previous suspicions. What a tangled drama this is. I remembered how desperately he saved people back then, and how he risked everything for Tail's surgery fees. Those seemingly sleazy yet brave moments were just flowers blooming from sins. The Lord doesn't care how beautiful the flowers bloom, it only cares how deep the roots go. Just when I was getting ready for deeper investigation, little Xiao Feng suddenly called shock and awe. He said they found 2-level fugitives in the Gemini building. It sounded just like a movie plot. I knew I had to put the investigation on hold to catch these big deals. We swiftly embarked on a pursuit, but the criminals resisted with unprecedented ferocity, resulting in heavy losses. The entire experience felt as though we were in a real-life video game. While chasing on the rooftop, I accidentally slipped, and little Xiao Feng grabbed me tightly. It was speed of life and death. I looked into his eyes and saw struggle and determination, just like a big hero. Xiao Feng, quick, say it, they're coming. Let go and live better. I saw his pupils constrict, like he was startled, yet he wouldn't let go. In that moment, I suddenly understood. He wasn't saving me, but saving himself from 7 years ago. Just in the nick of time, the rescue arrived, and we both survived, thankfully. I told him he was being bugged, and it turned out to be the landlord. What a laugh! All your conversations, I've recorded perfectly. I could hardly believe it. Me, you three, we definitely know exactly how to stir up some trouble. I thought about it, 2 arbitrating issues, but in the end, I still turned him over to the master. Oh well. Nothing to feel sorry for, he smiled, saying everyone has their own sense of right and wrong. It's also torturous. In fact, we've all been waiting for this day to come. Later I learned from the designer that little Xiao Feng had contacted him to shake off suspicion. Little Xiao Feng intentionally got close to the designer to throw me off his scent. What a drama king. If it weren't for later interventions, maybe they could have kept up the charade longer. Eventually, little Xiaofeng and Yang Zidao were sentenced to death. I went to visit him and quietly said, "What a pity. Such brave thoughts and courage, you've really nailed it." I said through gritted teeth, feeling quite resentful. I've seen too many mediocre cops, and he should have been cutting it in this field. I hate his sins from 7 years ago, but I also appreciate that rooftop event. Now, that's a wrap for this tale.